Hello, it's David from Ag Economic Insights, co-founder. Want to spend a few minutes here chatting about the Ag Forecast Network and the question of the week, where I break down a question in the Forecast Network that I'm thinking about and why it's important to agriculture and why you should update your forecasts or recalibrate your thinking. This week, I'm flipping the script a little bit and talking about the latest stimulus bill that is working its way through the final moments through the Congress and getting it signed by the legislation, by the president, going into law. I want to talk about what the implications are of that bill for two forecast network questions that we've been following along. So the first one here is on the acreage reduction program known as SHIPP, or the Soil Health and Income Protection Program. And this is a program that was on the books thanks to the 2018 Farm Bill. You can click here to read more all about it. But the House passed stimulus efforts all the way back in July and August included uh, funds that would have an emergency provision that would expand the SHIP program to 5 million acres, which would start to act like a supply management program for 2021, 2022, and 2023, potentially having big implications for U.S. ag production. So we had been following this along. Of course, keep in mind when this program came out, corn was headed to $3.20 a bushel, where it hit the low in August. So a very different environment where this was initially talked about. So the stimulus got passed, and we were wondering, hey, did this get included? So we did a control find in the 6,000 page document, almost 6,000 page document, and found that SHIP is in there, but it did not include an expansion of the program. They sort of added another year to how long producers could sign up. So I've made an update to my forecast. This question will close at the end of the year. I have a 1% forecast. Of course, a lot can happen, but this one seems like it's going to fade out or close out based on the time, the closing of here at the end of the year. Here's my forecast over time. Here's how my thinking has changed and adjusted. And you can see the consensus. I'm not going to score very well. So you win some, you lose some. This is one that we're always learning on. I think it's really important to realize this is an always learning one for all of us. The second one is 2021 direct payments exceeding $18 billion. And we put the November 2021 net farm income forecast as our reference point. And what's interesting is when we break down historic direct payments by category, we typically have 10 to 15 billion, usually around 10 billion in non ad hoc funding. So for us to get to 46 billion here in 2020, you would need a lot of ad hoc spending. And I think 76% of the spending this year is ad hoc. So what happens in 2021 to become crashing back to these levels? So we drew the line at 18 billion, which would still be a very high number for historic highs, but also highs that we've seen in the last 10 or 11 years. 18 billion would be kind of unimaginable just 3 or 4 years ago, but a big adjustment lower from where we are today. We drew the line there. I've changed my forecast. There's about, I think, $13 billion earmarked for ag in the new stimulus. Sort of a question how much of it is going to get counted for 2021. I don't think much of it will count for 2020. How much of the baseline? So you take the baseline farm bill spending plus another round of spending. In my mind, it looks pretty likely that we're going to see direct payments get above 18 billion. We'll probably have to write another question here to see will there be another stimulus sort of on top of this once we get to the next USDA update of farm income and direct payments in February. Here's the consensus. Of course, it is headed higher in the last few days. So a lot to think about here as we close out the year. I think this is why the Forecast Network is such a powerful tool for helping our thinking and cutting through the signal and finding the signal and all the noise. And, these two questions that we talked about helped us sort of uh, dig into the details of this new stimulus, less reaction to the news, more sort of pulling out the key insights that were most relevant to the ag sector, but also our thinking. So we help, of course, the Forecast Network helps tee up these uncertainties and allows you to consume content on a more active basis. Two other things I want to talk about before we wrap up. The other one here is we've uploaded 4 what we're thinking about memos to share with you as we close out 2020. We're going to send an email out here later today and we're going to also take a break. We're going to get some things back into the hopper, and we'll check back with you all at the first of the year. Finally, want to mention again, Escaping 1980, for those of you who haven't had a chance to get started with that or haven't finished it. We've uploaded all 7 episodes. It's been a great project for Brent and I to team up with Sarah Mock to tell the story of the farm financial crisis of the 1980s and all the implications it had for our thinking and all of us even here today 4 decades later. And so we've uploaded all those podcasts. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've heard from a lot of you. It's been a great project, one of our most exciting projects and most rewarding projects to do. So thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for telling all your friends and all your family members about it. It's been really great to see the response to that. We're going to have a few more articles coming out after 2021 because we think that the episodes are done, but we think that the learning opportunities in the discussions will continue into the new year. So we look forward to that. Wishing you all the best to wrap up 2020 in a prosperous new year. In the meantime, stay curious, and we'll see you all later.